I bet that was fun in the wintertime.
Yeah. It just smells like diesel fuel, honestly. It's not
Oh my god.
it's not as bad as that movie made it out to be. I forget what the name of it is, but there was some movie where they made it look like it was like the most horrible punishment on earth.
I do remember that, yeah.
But it's
Jarhead.
Jarhead,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
right.
it was nothing like that.
Right.
He's like covered with soot in his face in the movie, but it's ridiculous.
All right, well, enough shooting
Enough of
shit,
that,
if
yeah.
you will. All right, so welcome to Veterans Nation. This is segment 16.
I'm Trevor Scott, filling in for Mike Dowling.
And I'm Michelle Ladd, filling in for Trevor.
And I'm Kelly Smith.
And in the words of the Terminator, I'm back.
And also, we have over here our technical director sitting in for Rydell Danzy. We have Ryan Sturs.
Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So Kelly, you just got back from your tour of duty. Where have you been?
Yeah, it wasn't super long, but it was about a 10-day trip. We were supporting the presidential inauguration, so we were moving some combat kitchens back and forth across the U.S.
Essential. Nice.
Essential necessities.
Right.
But we got a lot of good training in. We were down in the Keys for a little bit, doing some low-level airdrop training and some 3-engine work. We normally have 4.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun. Pretty good training. We enjoyed it.
Very good.
Very cool.
But I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys.
Oh, we missed you
It's
too,
nice
Kelly.
to have you. Nice to have it.
Well, you want to dedicate the show?
Who's our dedication
We've
today?
got the 1st Marine Division. And the 1st Marine Division is our neighbor down at Camp Pendleton near San Diego. And the 1st Marine Division is the oldest and largest Marine Division in the history of the Navy and the Marines.
Wow.
Hoorah.
That's impressive. All right, so Trevor, battle stations.
All right, here we go. This is a press release from the U.S. House Committee on Veterans Affairs regarding a bill that would expand CHAMPVA's maximum eligibility age for veterans' children. Now, CHAMPVA stands for the Civilian Health and Medical Program of the Department of Veterans Affairs, and it offers medical benefits to the spouses and children of veterans who qualify for the program. Now, this new bill, known as the CHAMPVA Children's Protection Act, would increase the eligibility age for children to 26 years old. Currently, the age limits are 18, or in some cases 23 years old, depending on the child's marital and educational statuses. Now, this can be a great benefit for veterans who meet the criteria, and for more detailed information, go to this VA website right there.
Thank you for that report on CHAMPVA, Trevor. Good stuff. Now, the difference between TriCare and CHAMPVA is my understanding that some are better off using TriCare rather than...
That's true. It all depends on how you fit and meet the criteria of the two different plans.
And speaking of the criteria, there are specific eligibility factors in order to get the CHAMPVA. So you might want to just look at the website for CHAMPVA to make sure that you do fall under the eligibility for that. Okay, here's something from Blue Star Families, which is a nonprofit organization supporting families of active duty personnel. The Blue Star Families is a national nonprofit network of military families from all ranks and services, including Guard and Reserve, with a mission to support, connect, and empower military families. In addition to morale and empowerment programs, Blue Star Families raises awareness of the challenges and strengths of military family life and works to make military life more sustainable. Membership includes military spouses, children, and parents, as well as service members, veterans, and civilians. This is their website, bluestarfam.org. Please feel free to visit it and see what you can learn from it. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Rick Seaman.
Team, how are we?
How you doing?
Good. These are all veteran volunteers here, folks. The
Love our
team.
vets. Love our
Biggest
vets.
volunteer of all right here.
Unselfish,
right.
motivated, and they're here for you, and thank you guys for...
Thank you,
Thanks,
Rick.
Rick.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you, vets.
Yeah, and you know, Kelly, there's Blue Star Families there. There are so many veterans organizations out there, and they all do great stuff. And all veterans should be encouraged to get involved with these organizations. I mean, it's not just a fraternal or brotherhood thing, but there's so much they do for the communities, and it's all great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once a vet, always a vet, just like how we dedicated this one to the Marines. What do they say? Like, what's the core thing?
Semper Fi.
No. What? Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Oh, right.
Jeez, I don't know why I forgot that.
See what happens when Mike Dowling is not here?
I know we need
Yeah,
him.
our only Marine.
I'm like,
She's
somebody
looking
knows
over there
this.
for Mike. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm Trevor today, so that was really up to you.
That was.
right?
That was.
Right.
I'm
That's
Mike
why I was
today.
like,
Trevor being
you.
right.
Jeez.
So, well, all right. Well, Rick, I mean, I know it's like looking at an assortment of chocolates, right? But do you have a favorite veterans organization?
Well, you know, they're all great. They're all great. Personally, I'm a member of VFW. And again, that's one of those organizations that just does so much for the community. You know, through their local post, and then nationally, they have programs for kids and education programs, and it goes on and on. And then I also like IAVA, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. You know,
I'm a member.
you're a member. Paul Reichoff put that together, pretty much as a necessity for all these new, you know, OIF vets that are coming back, and they do a lot of great stuff too. They're kind of the organization of the future, IAVA. And,
Well, you know what, Rick, that brings to mind something I just heard recently is even VFW, they actually have a really good tie-in to the VA. And I have friends who have become members of the VFW, and magically, a lot of their stuff gets pushed through the VA a lot quicker.
Really?
And they're able to get
Oh,
help
yeah.
through the VA from VFW. So not only can you go enjoy a beer, you can actually like have help.
Well, yeah,
Actual
and,
legitimate help.
and the real reason there for that is through the VFW and other organizations, they have a network of service officers, VSOs as they call them,
Right.
who are advocates. And I mean, Dave Culmer and I, we did 3 segments on our news show about how to find a service officer. You know, they exist in the organizations. You can get county service officers. You can get state service officers through your state veterans agency. But it's a great way to go, like you say. It's a gateway to the VA.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely more helpful than I had previously understood.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, true.
Well, now, Rick, we got a phone call to make, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yep.
We're going to get
U.S. Congressman Jeff Denham.
U.S. Congressman
Right.
Jeff Denham. We're going to get him on the phone here. And
All right, here we are with Jeff Denham, a member of the U.S. House Committee of Veterans Affairs.
hi, Congressman Denham. Rick Seaman here, co-producer of the show. I'd like to thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule to talk to our veteran viewers and listeners here on the Veterans Nation.
Rick, thanks for having me. It's always good to talk to you.
All of our vets out there should know that you are, in fact, a veteran yourself.
16 years in the Air Force. Crew chief on 135s and C5s.
Wow, congratulations. Well, welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Congressman, most of our vet viewers should know that you were on the U.S. House Committee for Veterans Affairs and that we're in the 113th Congress now that just started. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Glad to be back on the Veterans Committee. We've got a number of issues we've got to address, and we need to have more veterans in Congress.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that, Congressman, because we actually had a discussion on that issue on one of our recent segments, that this was currently the lowest percentage of veterans in Congress, I guess, since World War II.
Yeah, we certainly need to get more veterans engaged and fighting for some of the changes that we need. I mean, we're, seeing over 250,000 brave men and women that have served their country that will be coming home here shortly. And, I'm hoping that many of them will get encouraged to get involved in the political process, because there's so much that's happening, whether it's on the local level or the state level or the national level, that affects our veterans on a daily basis. Everything from the highest unemployment to the challenges with getting a home and, coming home and being able to use the skills, the valuable skills that they received on active duty, being able to use those skills at home to get a job.
Congressman Denham, this is Trevor Scott here. Could you please give us a forecast of what's coming up for veterans legislation this year?
Well, I think we've got to build on our success from last year. I had the idea and the bill to make sure that our men and women are credentialed on active duty. I mean, if you're going to get the best training in the world on active duty, you ought to be able to use that on the civilian side as well. And so our bill that was signed into law last year, we need to make sure that it's fully implemented. So now that we are doing the credentialing to be able to use those skills, whether you're a nurse or a doctor, or in my case, a crew chief, I should have been able to work on the most sophisticated aircraft in the world. I should have been able to come home and utilize those skills at any airport without needing 3 years of additional training that was duplicative of what I'd already had. So now we've got to take that a step further. Now that we've done the credentialing, we need to make sure that the Department of Defense is working with local companies in every community around the nation. And rather than applying after you get out, if the job is available and the training is there, we ought to be able to make sure that before somebody gets off of active duty, they actually have a job to come home to.
Copy that. Very important.
Congressman Denham, Kelly Smith here, and I'm looking at a list of veterans' bills that you have either authored or co-sponsored, and most of them are related to employment.
Well, I think that's the biggest issue that our veterans face. As they come home, many were asked to do things that, whether you're in the reserves or guard or active duty. I mean, the amount of terms, the amount of times that they've gone back to the Middle East, now we need to make sure that when they come home, before they come home, they actually have a job to come home to and able to utilize those same skills, and then ultimately able to get into a house and, be part of our great society here.
All right, I hear you loud and clear on that. Thank you.
Yeah, certainly a top priority.
Absolutely. Congressman Denham, do you think these new bills and their markups and implementation will move through the House and Senate with relative ease in this new Congress?
I think a big challenge is the cost on all of these various bills, but a lot of the things we're pushing the Department of Defense on have very little to no cost at all. I mean, just getting our men and women credentialed and being able to work with companies to get that gainful employment immediately should not be a big cost factor. As well, with veterans benefits. We have huge backlogs of veterans trying to receive the medical care that they need, or even the disability status that they would need. If you've been injured on active duty, why wouldn't you already have those claims processed through the Department of Defense, through the VA, before you even come home, rather than coming home and having to wait 6 months and getting stuck in a big bureaucracy? So I think there are some very simple things that we can do just to improve the process, and a way to thank our veterans for their service without having them have to go through a big bureaucracy, whether it's employment or benefits or some of the PTSD challenges that they will have when they come home.
And on that subject, sir, have we been gaining any ground on this long drawn-out process of creating an efficient electronic system for the DoD and the VA to share and be in sync with veterans' medical records?
Yes, I think we're gaining a lot of ground right now, but I think we have two challenges. First of all, we need to get the Department of Defense in the 21st century using the capabilities and technology that we currently have. And then the second thing is actually making sure the Department of Defense, the VA, our local vet centers are all working together with the same information, so that you're not going through a big bureaucracy from each area of government. I mean, it should be a seamless process.
Yeah, I think they call that teamwork.
I've always found it ridiculous that I've still got to carry around my shot records from 20 or 30 years ago, in a little Ziploc bag that, those yellow shot documents that, you never want to lose. Why would we ever have to do that in today's day and age when everything can be put on the computer, and any VA center or clinic that you would go to should have those records up to date?
Right. Well, listen, Congressman Denham, I thank you again for sharing your time with us, and I'm glad you're working for us, not only as a representative, but also as a veteran. Let's talk again real soon.
You got it, Rick. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much.
Time to march on out, folks.
Vets, thank you again. Thanks for watching, and come on back for more. Welcome home, vets.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.